Dinner was good, Tommy.
Thank you, Dorian, my darling. I knew you would like spaghetti tonight.
Yes, I totally did, but now there's nothing much on TV. I was hoping to find a horror movie tonight.
I know, but these movies don't give me the thrill like they used to.
Really? Why is that, honey?
Well, now that I've seen so much in real life, nothing's surprising in movies. Like, just recently, we solved a murder case in England after 6 years, and in the most unexpected way.
What? Wow, that's good, honey. How do you mean by unexpected way?
It became impossible to solve it, and the murderer had gotten away with it. Well, almost did.
All right, tell me all about it. Now I need to know everything. What happened from the beginning?
Okay, well, it all started in 2013, when we got a call from a woman saying she had found her sister dead in the bedroom. It was in a small village of England, Sussex, called Snow Hill. The villagers were living a very calm and peaceful life till then, and not a big population either, so everyone knew each other. And so Mrs. Hayes, a 55-year-old grandmother, loved by everyone, was killed brutally.
Oh, man, why would anyone want to kill a grandmother?
That was the first thing on the investigators were thinking. She was old, loved by everyone, had no enemies, and she was house-sitting for a couple, so she was killed in someone else's house too.
Oh my God, how was she killed?
Bludgeoned to death. Someone struck her with a heavy object on the skull repeatedly.
Oh my God, how's that even possible for someone to do that?
You'll be surprised to know what people can do in such situations. The search was painstaking for the police department. She was house-sitting with her sister and the sister's partner, who were sleeping upstairs that night, and heard nothing downstairs, where Mrs. Hayes was sleeping, and upon investigating, everyone who knew her was ruled out, so it was someone from outside who came in from the patio straight to her bedroom. Police went door to door knocking and asking questions, hoping to find something to help them, but to no avail, and the people of the village were uncomfortable, knowing there was a killer on the loose.
Obviously, I can't imagine living like that. Plus, the poor grandmother needed justice, so it must be hard for everyone. Tell me, the case went cold?
Surprisingly, one day, they found the murder weapon, which was left in a field, and since the forensic investigators knew that Mrs. Hayes was struck with a heavy object, they sent the weapon for analysis.
Oh, wow, what was the murder weapon then?
It was a hammer, a heavy thick steel hammer, with Mrs. Hayes' DNA on it, and another male's DNA, too, so now we at least knew it was a male.
Then, what happened? I mean, now they must know who it was.
No, even then, they didn't find any record of that male in the data system, so then, the case went cold, and the people of the village were very uneasy to move on with their lives.
Ah, this makes me angry. She didn't deserve that.
And we couldn't do anything for her, or for that village, for 6 whole years. It was a terrible time for us all, but then, one day, everything changes.
Ah, yes. Please, give me some good news.
You won't believe this one. We couldn't have guessed in a million years that this could happen.
What? Tell me.
Well, after 6 years, we got an email from a woman saying she thinks her husband was the killer of Mrs. Hayes.
Wow, what? Really?
Yes, whoop whoop, whoop whoop, ha ha. It was like God had intervened. It was out of nowhere, and the woman said she even saw that murder weapon with him when the murder had happened. She then saw the husband, Christian, searching for the case on Google for years, like he was following the case, to catch the developments, and that's when she knew she had to call the police.
So, unfreaking believable.
We couldn't find him sooner from our data system, because Christian was from Romania, and had left the village of Snow Hill after the murder, and was living in a trailer in Romania with a wife and his 2 kids. He was 28 years old, which means he was 22 at the time of the murder, so he was arrested from Romania and brought back to England for a trial.
But, why? Why did he do it? Tell me that. Did he say why?
This is probably the worst thing to find out why, because there was no reason really. He said he was broke and was looking at empty houses to rob that night when he stopped at this house, which he thought would be empty, but the owners left the house sitter behind, and when he went inside to look for cash, Mrs. Hayes saw him, and as he was carrying a hammer with him, he struck her several times and then left from the patio.
Oh my God? Seriously? I mean, he couldn't just run away when he found her?
That's what the judge said at his trial, that he should have just ran away, but he chose to kill her, so he got a 24-year sentence, and Mrs. Hayes got her justice.
Oh man, I'm really glad, Tammy, really glad to know that, because I honestly thought he got away with it, but luckily, his wife came forward. Wow, who would have thought?
Yes, a very strange case with a very strange end. But justice was served. And now, I'm going to make some coffee with my blueberry muffins I made earlier for you. How does that sound?
Sounds heavenly, my darling. Hurry back.
Alright, I won't be long, honey. You flip the channels till then.
Ha 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 ha, muffins.